Today I'm going to show you how to start locating sources for your research paper. It's important to locate quality sources from a trusted place. Using online databases is a great way to ensure that you find quality information. In this video, I will show you how to access some of Aldine's most popular online databases. You're going to start off at the Aldine website. It's aldineisd.org. Once you're on that website, you're going to go to the link that says Student and Parent, and then under Student Resources, you're going to choose Digital Resources. Once you've done that, you're going to click on TestQuest Navigator. And these are all of the databases that the district has available for you to use for free. When you're at school, no passwords are needed. If you're at home, you will need a password to get into these databases. So for the majority of these databases, the password would be, for the username, it's going to be Aldine, and the password is student. So when it asks you for a username and password, Aldine student will get you into 99% of these. The first database that I'm going to show you is Britannica School. This is an online encyclopedia. The reason I like it is because it's very easy to use, and it also recommends some other places to find quality information. So there are three versions. What I'm going to show you today is Britannica School, but notice that they also have two other Spanish versions. This one is a simplified Spanish version, and this one is the same as Britannica School, but only in Spanish. So we're going to click on Britannica School to get into the database. You're going to select your learning level. We're going to do middle school, but if you wanted to find information a little bit easier to read, you could choose elementary, or if the topic you're looking for isn't in middle school, you could try high school as well. All databases will have places where you can browse and explore, but there's always going to be a search box. So you want to find that search box and enter your topic. Whatever information you're looking for, you're going to enter your keywords or your topic. So I'm going to enter something that our 8th graders should be very familiar with. Notice when I start typing, it will pull up recommended articles. So this is our article, and I'll just scroll down so that you can see it. Britannica has a couple of features that I want to point out. You can choose your reading level. Right now it's at a 2, but if you wanted the article to be more advanced, you could go to a 3. Most of the time there's also a 1 here to make it a little bit simpler. There's also a bunch of buttons up here that you need to pay attention to. You can send this article somewhere. You can mark it as a favorite. You can print it. This one is super important. You can cite, get your citation information. So if you click on this, it will give you your citation. And anytime you're doing research in your English language arts class or an English class, you're always going to want to use the MLA style. There are other types of styles, but for English, you're always going to choose MLA. And you would just copy and paste this in your works cited list. It's really important that you do this so that you don't have to come back and look for it later. So if you find a good article, make sure you get your citation information. It's difficult later on to get it back or to locate it. And the reason that you have to let your teacher know where you found your information anytime that you do research. So it's really important to click on that button. You can have the article translated into another language. So if you would rather read this in Spanish or another language, you could click here. You can listen to the article being read to you, and you can make the font of the article itself bigger or smaller. Okay, another thing that you might not notice that is super cool is if you come over here to Related, you can click on this, and these are other articles related to the topic that you just looked at. So William Shakespeare, of course, is the author. It'll take you to this article on the author, William Shakespeare, if you click here. And there are some other options as well. Another thing that you want to look at over here is sometimes it will recommend primary sources and ebooks. For this article, there isn't any, so I'm not going to click on that. But they also usually recommend some quality websites. So this is a good place to find quality websites. And this one is a website that's by the British Library. So you could click on that and it takes you to that article from the British Library. So one thing I liked about this, if you look at it, it will give you a summary of each act of the play here. And you can also listen to each act. So that's a really cool feature. Okay, so this is Britannica School Library, and that's one of the places I recommend you start your research. We're going to go back to another one that I also want to take a look at, and you have to scroll down a little bit to see it, but it's Gale in Context, the middle school version. This is a good all-around place to find information. There are thousands of magazine and news articles and other information available. So I'm going to click on Gale in Context Middle School. This is what the database looks like. You can browse by topic, or once again, you can enter a search term. Okay, so I'm going to enter something that's been in the news a lot lately, Mars. And this is the article on Mars. So I'll let you take a look at the article. It looks like a good article. And once again, it has some features that I want to point out. If you want this article translated into Spanish or another language, you can click here. You can increase or decrease the size of the letters in the article. You can have the article, you can listen to the article being read.
Mars. Mars is a cold, desert-like planet known for its distinctive rust red color.
Okay. And then this is a really neat feature. You can send this entire article to your Google Drive. So if you find a good article, make sure you send it to your Google Drive. That way you don't have to go back and locate it again. It'll be in your Google Drive. So that one is pretty neat. You can also email it to yourself, download it, or print it. And then up here, there are more features. This is where you get your citation for this article. You can select this, and then you can send it to another place like your Google Drive or other websites that help you organize your citations for a research paper. The one that I'm the most familiar with, that I use the most, is called EasyBib. So I could have this sent to my EasyBib website, and it will help me organize my research paper. You can send this to different places. You can download it, print it, and then also you can highlight anything in the article that you'd like to. So if you just drag the cursor over the part that you want to highlight, you can do that. And then you hit save and it's highlighted. If you send this article to your Google Drive, it will have the highlights on there for you. And so you would want to highlight things that are important that you might want to use in your research paper. So as you read, I would highlight. Okay, and you can even color code your highlights. Everything you want in the first paragraph, you could put in yellow. The second paragraph, you could put in blue, and you could color code it like that. That would be a neat way to organize your paper in your notes. Okay, so let's look at one more thing that I want to show you, which is EBSCO ebooks, and we're going to look at the high school version. The reason I'm choosing high school over K through 8 is K through 8 seems to be mostly elementary, and so especially if you're in the 8th grade, I would lean towards high school. If you're in 6th grade, you might want to choose the ebooks collection for K through 8. Okay, and once again, you're going to enter a search term. Okay, so I'm going to enter something I'm looking for. Okay, I'm going to look for articles on the pandemic. And these are all ebooks that you could open up and start reading right now. So one reason you might want to use ebooks is that anytime there's a big research project in a school, the library has a limited number of books on certain topics. And so if a student gets to the library before you do, they have probably checked out all the books on that topic. The nice thing about ebooks is they are always there. You can access them anytime. You can get to these after school when the library doors are closed, and you can still continue to look for books. These are just ebooks. I found this one kind of interesting. It's called COVID-19 and Other Pandemics, a Comparison. And it looks at some of the other pandemics we've had in history. Okay, this is a summary of the book. To actually open the book and start reading it, you're going to click over here on PDF full text. And it's going to operate just like a book, only it's digital. Okay, so that's the cover of the book, and you would either scroll down or you could go page to page from down here. You want to pay attention to your table of contents. That will tell you what chapters are in this book. If you want to jump to a certain chapter, like you want to jump to influenza, you could type in the page number here, and it will take you automatically to chapter 4, so you don't have to scroll all the way down there. Whoops, that's supposed to be 34. Okay, so there's page 34. So use your table of contents, and I think that you'll find the ebooks very helpful. Once again, there are options up here. The citation for the ebook is here, so you would click here, and on this one you have to scroll down until you see MLA. Okay, here it is. So this is how you would cite this book for your works cited list at the end of your research paper. Okay, you would copy and paste that into your works cited list. Okay, so that is a good starting place for those of you that are getting to do research. If you have any questions, let me know. I am going to do another video on how to enhance your searching, what to put in the search box, but I decided to do that in a separate video.